Russian authorities are trying to balance the need to maintain calm at home while pressing upon citizens that the Ukraine offensive is for Russia's survival. But there are signs of the changes that have taken place since last year. Stuart Smith reports from Moscow.
A normal winter's day in modern Moscow. Young men working, people enjoying themselves, restaurants open. But that's not a McDonald's, that's Vkusny Itochka. And that's not a Starbucks, it's a Stars Coffee, just two of the American brands that packed up and sold their stores to Russian owners when doing business here became taboo. And this is why. Russia's special military operation against Ukraine. The city's not littered with signs like this, but if you know where to look, you can spot them. The Latin alphabet Z and V were painted on the sides of tanks when they attacked Ukraine a year ago. Now they remind people in Russia to support the Russian military. Outside this ice rink near the Kremlin, I asked people if the military operation has changed their lives.
Конечно, зарплаты, конечно, не уменьшились, это однозначно.
Первично то, что мои дети уехали, наша семья разрушилась. Вот это для меня самое важное, самое главное, что произошло.
Others say their lives have barely changed at all.
Все хорошо, все нормально. Надеемся на свое правительство. Нас Путин, мы его любим, мы уважаем. Для нас он гордость.
Others are too afraid to speak to us. People can get in a lot of trouble for expressing anti-government positions. Participation in anti-war protests saw thousands fined and hundreds jailed. But thousands of kilometers from Moscow, in the Siberian city of Novosibirsk, City Councillor Anton Katavin has found a little more wiggle room to be critical. He's trying to support those struggling with local issues and the effects of the so-called special military operation without breaking the law. Not an easy task.
It's not a repression for us, it's like everyday life. So, well, yes, I was fined, I was in a political jail, my house was searched one time, but it's sort of fine.
This is life in...
Yes, I think it's life for a politician in Russia.
Every Friday at his constituency office, he hosts a live stream on YouTube to provide advice and answer people's questions. Recently, a local man who admitted to teaching his son pacifism was investigated by Child Protection Services. The families of mobilized men wanted to know how to secure them food and equipment.
Right now, people are coming for me for the same problems that they came for 2020, for the year 2021. It's all the same. But the perspective changed, slowly changed. They ask more questions right now. Maybe our government is not correct. Maybe we are doing something wrong.
Katavin believes democracy and elections are still the best way to change direction. He says people need alternatives to vote for, despite the risks of being an opposition politician. The thinking of those people is a subject many want to understand both inside and outside Russia. Among them, the independent Levada Center, labelled a foreign agent by authorities. This January, they found 4 in 5 people supported the actions of the president. The researchers say few things have changed that level of support over the past year.
No news about, for example, big losses or some tragedies, or even the cases when Russian army, for example, retreated from Kharkiv region. They didn't have much influence on these questions. Support of the military, support of the idea of peace talks. No big changes. But the possible involvement into the conflict, bigger involvement in the conflict of ordinary people, yes, this I think provided the biggest shift.
Denis Volkov predicts future waves of mobilization would be met with less of a reaction. Those in power here say Russians must fight until the Kremlin's vaguely defined goals in Ukraine are achieved. That's led to geopolitical isolation from some parts of the world, but there are still many countries who feel there's something to gain from a Russia desperate to sell energy, in search of new trade routes, and in need of friends and allies.